I don't know what angle is good. I mean... So vain. You probably think this song is about you. Tone deaf. I don't know what my cat's doing. She's just like, she's very quiet. Talking to yourself on a camera in your apartment at like 3 a.m. is not fun. And at least I put some pants on, so at least that's good. Oh, nope, okay. Oh God, okay, wow. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Tyler M. Holland. I'm a costume designer in New York City, and today I'm gonna show you a Showgirl rendering from start to finish. And she's inspired by the Stargazer lily, which is my favorite flower, and it's my great-grandmother's favorite flower. Since it was her birthday just a few days ago, I thought it would be really fun to celebrate her by exploring her favorite flower as a showgirl. She wouldn't necessarily approve of nudity or like it, but she was very supportive. So let's get into this. So since we're doing a rendering of my great-grandmother's favorite flower, I thought I should give you some context. We called my great-grandmother Sugar because she was the sweetest person you'll ever meet. She loved the Stargazer lily so much for its bright colors, its incredible scent. If you've never smelled this flower before, it's wild. It's one of the strongest floral scents imaginable, and it's so strong that when we were pulling the wallpaper down in her bathroom after years of fresh Stargazers every Friday in the house, the scent came rushing out of the glue as it was released. It was insane. As I said in the last video, underpainting, or the painting of the warm and cool undertones of the skin, always looks crazy at first. As a matter of fact, the more stark it looks against the white paper, the better the outcome will be. You don't want to blend these undertones too much into each other, but rather let the skin tone pass itself blend them. For the underpainting, I'm using my 3 favorite colors for fairer skin. All Prismacolor markers, Ballet Pink for the warmth, grade Lavendar for the deepest moments, and Sky Blue as a transition cool shade. Oh my god, between New York and my cat, I can't record this narration in one piece. It is wild. I'm so excited for this rendering specifically because I've chosen an image of research that allows me to use my favorite pigment, Rhodamine. It's an electric pink, and the Prismacolor marker itself has some wild reactions with the other markers. It's one of their pigments that pushes away other pigments or reacts strangely when still too wet with many of the other markers. The dress itself is an ombre, and I decided to be a little cheeky and have the dress ombre from the cutouts starting with our model skin tone and into the pink. This way from stage it'll look like there's barely a dress on her, more like she's covered in pink rhinestones. I wanted to add the luscious green of the foliage of these flowers into the gown somewhere, so I chose to make the sleeves, the lining of the skirt, and some small pattern patches in the skirt fabric itself this bright green color.
In order to achieve a great ombre in marker, you have to work quickly and really saturate the paper. In watercolor terms, we'd call this working wet on wet, and I suppose the same technique applies. Play around and do a test before going straight in. Some markers don't blend beautifully, or they have an undertone in them that wicks away into another color strangely, and you may not like it. For the ombre on this dress, I started with the Skintone marker Cinnamon Toast and then blended out the edges with Ballet Pink, really saturating the paper with the marker. From there, I went on in with the Prismacolor marker Pink, and before that had a chance to dry, I dropped in Rhodamine. To add shading in darker areas, I came back over with Mulberry. Sometimes, when the ombre didn't work out as I'd planned, I'd go back and forth over the transition edges with Ballet Pink and Pink. Once the base ombre and color of the skirt were completely dry, I wanted to add the small spots you see in the flower itself. But since this is a fabric representation of the flower, I thought it'd be more fun and cheeky to go with a leopard print motif. I went ahead and lightly drew them in with pencil first, and then went over top with Mulberry and Parma Violet. Okay, let's talk rhinestones and glitter. This is totally something I do. Not many costume designers do it for whatever reason. Obviously, if you're taking the time to render fabric and skin closely to real life, why wouldn't you go ahead and take the time to render the rhinestones? I can, and I have done this, but there's something delightfully glitzy and downright tacky to adding craft glitter and rhinestones to a rendering. I never go overboard with this, but it is nice to add some clear glitter and some nail art rhinestones over the big motifs where you'd actually be beading or stoning the garment. And it's so simple. You just affix the glitter like you would in kindergarten, a light coat of white glue, and sprinkle the glitter over it, and then go knock it off in the trash can. For the rhinestones, I find a fine tip brush gently dipped in white glue and dotted on the paper gives just enough adhesion for a nail art rhinestone. I'd like to take a second to talk about backgrounds on renderings. Backgrounds always help put the character and the garment into a sense of space. These don't need to be in any way actually photographically referential to the set or lighting that the costume will be on, but at the very least it needs to feel of the right mood or tone of the piece that you and the scenic designer and lighting designer and director have discussed. If you know the predominant color of the scenery or lighting, go ahead and add that in. Alright, I think she's finished. The last thing I have to do is add my signature over her foot. I like to do this so no one's able to edit it out and use my renderings for their own. Not that they would, but you can never be too careful. This is just something my professors told me to do, and I've done it ever since.
All right, thank you so much for joining me this week. Next month, I'm going to be doing a whole Pride series of showgirls, showboys, circus performers inspired by Pride. I'm so excited about this and I can't wait for you to see it. Also, please visit my Instagram at Tyler M. Holland Design if you want to see more of my theater stuff, if you want to see more of my theater designs, if you want to see more of how I make a living. Like and subscribe if you want more of this content. I know you want to, and you should. That felt desperate. Bye.